Absolute Radio for the funnest way to start your day game.
Post and have the Nation newspaper, and of course, trust me, each of these newspapers are with interesting stories. The first from the Punch, have where investigations uncovers Cornell who plotted Tinubu's ouster, and from the Vanguard, I have a corpse of 15-year-old Gombe girl found in bush. Of course, moving to the Vanguard is where Jigawa begins medical screening for 2026 Hajj pilgrims, and moving forward to Daily Post newspaper. It's where Wiki threatens workers as court order strike suspension. Yes, that was the headline. So let's dive into the news and details. Is where an interim investigation report into the alleged coup plot against President Bola Tinubu's government has revealed that a clandestine network of military officers coordinated by an army colonel named withheld had planned the takeover, with funding, recruitment, and operational planning traced directly to him. The report, cited by the newsman on Tuesday, indicated that the army officer, whose repeated failures in promotion reportedly fueled his dissatisfaction, mobilized like-minded officers across the army, navy, and air force, assigning them to survey critical national installations, including the presidential villa, major barracks, and international airport. In October 2025, the Defense Headquarters announced the arrest of 16 officers over heart of indiscipline and breaches of service regulations. Shortly after, Sahara reporters reported that the officers, ranging from the rank of captain to brigadier general, were arrested by the Department of State Services. Shortly after, ranging from the rank of captain, were arrested by the Defense Intelligence Agency for holding secret meetings to topple the government and linked to the alleged plot to the cancellation of the October 4th Independence Day parade. At the time, the then Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuko Gusa, retired, dismissed the report as an attempt to create tension and distrust, stating that the matter was a purely internal disciplinary issue. He said an investigative panel had been constituted and that its findings will be made public. Alright, this news was picked from the Punch newspaper. For more details on this story, please visit the Punch newspaper. Investigation uncovers Colonel who plotted Tinubu's ouster.
News, reasonable sports report, cool and good music, fantastic programs, politics, religion, culture, and lots more. Keep listening to Carnival Radio. Carnival Radio, enjoyment unlimited.
Moving to another interesting story from the Vanguard newspaper is where the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, on Tuesday warned striking staff of the Federal Capital Territory Administration to return to work immediately or face legal action, following a National Industrial Court ruling ordering an end to the strike that has disrupted public services in Abuja for over a week. Breaking newsmen shortly after the court decision, Wike insisted that the rule of law must prevail and accused political actors of exploiting the industrial action for motives unrelated to workers' welfare. Wiki said the FCTA approached the court after determining that the strike had been hijacked by politicians, despite ongoing dialogue and attention to a substantial number of workers' concerns. He highlighted the administration's effort to support staff welfare, including salary payments and reforms within the civil service. The minister disclosed that more than 12 billion naira had just been approved for the payment of January salaries to FCTA workers, describing the move as evidence of the government's commitment to workforce, pointing to improved revenue performance under its leadership. Wiki noted that the FCT had generated over 30 billion naira in internally generated revenue, a significant increase compared with previous years. This news was picked from the Vanguard newspaper. For more details, please visit the Vanguard. Wiki threatens workers as court orders strike suspension. Moving to the Nation newspaper, is while the police have confirmed the killing of a 15-year-old girl, Aisha Abubakar, whose lifeless body was discovered in the bush on the outskirts of Kwame local government area of Gombe. The incident was reported to the police at about 12 noon on Tuesday by the victim's father, Malam Abubakar, who alleged that his daughter was a victim of culpable homicide. According to a statement issued by the police public relations officer, DSP Buhari Abdullahi, on Tuesday, the deceased was sent to buy soya beans on Sunday, January 26, 2026 at about 5:40 p.m. but failed to return home. Abdullahi said the girl's body was later discovered on Tuesday in the bush at the outskirts of the village. The police spokesperson disclosed that detectives promptly visited the scene of the incident, where photographs were taken for investigation purposes. He added that preliminary observations indicated that the victims may have been subjected to violence. This news was picked from the Nation newspaper. For more details, please visit the Nation newspaper. Corpse of 15-year-old Gombe girl found in bush. Now reading from the Post newspaper. The Jigawa State Pilgrims Welfare Board has commenced the medical screening for intending pilgrims as preparations intensify for the 2026 Hajj exercise. Newsmen report that the development comes as preparations speed up for intending pilgrims for the 2026 Hajj exercise, which is expected to attract millions of pilgrims from across the globe. Speaking during the inauguration of the screening, which commenced on Tuesday at Adeija General Hospital, the Director General of the board, Omar Labo, stated that the exercise is crucial to ensuring the health and safety of all pilgrims from the state. According to Labo, the board is committed to adhering strictly to Saudi Arabian regulations, which stipulate that only medically fit pilgrims will be permitted to perform Hajj. The Director General was accompanied by the Director of Operations, Mohammed Gaba, who echoed the board's commitment to transparency and fairness throughout the exercise. However, the DG promised transparency and fairness throughout the exercise, and in that, the board would ensure that all procedures are followed. As news was picked from the Post newspaper. For more details, please visit the Post. Jigawa begins medical screening for 2026 Hajj pilgrims. On to the last news and newspaper review this morning. The federal government has unveiled plans to deploy military veterans to help secure Nigerians and govern spaces as part of strategies to strengthen national security and drive economic activities in conflict-affected areas. This followed the inauguration of an 18-member committee by the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa retired, tasked with reclaiming ungoverned spaces for economic viability and positioning the Nigerian Legion Corps of Commissioners and Veterans. A statement today, Wednesday, by the military's Deputy Director of Information, Hedeline Chuku, on behalf of the Director of Information and Public Relations, said the committee was inaugurated on Tuesday at the Ministry of Defense headquarters, Abuja, with the minister represented by the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Richard Felegwan. Speaking at the event, Musa said the deployment of veterans into ungoverned spaces would complement ongoing military operations by bringing experienced personnel into local security and development efforts, particularly in areas where state presence remains weak. According to the minister, the initiative reflects a strategic shift from an over-reliance on military offensives to a more inclusive and sustainable approach to security that tackles the socio-economic drivers of insecurity. This news was picked from the Nation newspaper. Federal government deploys military retirees to secure ungoverned spaces. To bring the newspaper review to a close this morning, here is the recap of headlines. Investigation uncovers Cornell who plotted Tinubu outstar. Wike threatens workers as court orders strike suspension. Federal government deploys military retirees to secure ungoverned spaces. Corpse of 15-year-old Gombe girl found in bush. Jigawa begins medical screening for 2026 Hajj pilgrims. And with that, we've come to the end of newspaper review. Thank you very much for listening. You can download Carnival Media app from Google Play Store and App iOS. You can also check out our website at www.carnivalmedia.ng. My name remains Joseph Oyokola. And please do well to enjoy the rest of your day.